Gather round, children! Nando Lopes is here to provide you all with the children's story, created by the mere genius author known as Dr. Seuss. Let us begin by reading his most iconic illustrations of stories, known as Cat in the Hat. Let us begin. He calls this one the Cat, the Hat, and the Cash Grab that sat. Once there was a cat, the one with the hat, a curious fellow, quite zany at that. Created by Seuss, full of charm and delight, he caused fun and chaos, then vanished from sight. The books were a hit, what a magical ride! But Seuss had some secrets that would have him on thin ice, like cheating on his wife. Oh that's not nice. Now it's 2025 and guess what we get? A new animated cat with a marketing net. Out of the box came creatures that yell, with faces like inbred minions straight from hell. And please don't forget the foul film of 2003, a live action fever dream no one should see. So here we sit with rebooted flair. The cat's back again for reasons like it's money. It's always money. Can these reboots just stop? Hello everyone, my name is Nando and for today's video I'm going to be diving into watching the 2003 live action film known as Cat in the Hat, the most controversial film of all time regarding for the fact that it is widely known as the worst live action film and worst book adaptation of all time. A book adaptation that was so bad that the wife of the author had to order people to stop making live action movies regarding her husband's books, which allowed the clause for many of his other books to be made but just in animated form. But we're not here to watch that, we're here to watch this pile of trash, a movie that has no real understanding of its own identity. So let's see what this film is about. This is Cat in the Hat from 2003. The movie begins with the DreamWorks intro stylized in Dr. Seuss's art style. Cherish it while you can before I take you to see some absolute live action dog shit. We meet our first character named Joan, who's a real estate agent calling to find someone to babysit her two kids named Conrad and Sally. She also has a boss named Hank Humberfloop, and no, I'm not making that up, as his main business rule is to always have his employees wash their hands as he's a huge germaphobe.
To welcome aboard our newest member of the Humberfloop family, Jim McFlanagan.
Mr. Humberfloop, I wanted to thank you. Fired. I beg your pardon.
Fired!
Alright then! Joan alerts her boss that she needs to be home and she needs to look after her kids, but her boss has to remind her that if he comes home to her house later to see that it's another big mess again, she's fired! You know, when you're doing all this, it's not funny. It's just not funny at all. We then meet Conrad and Sally, with Conrad mostly making a mess around the house with these furry shoes to help create this little ride down the stairs as he sits on a kitchen tray.
Hey, Mom.
This is where we meet our main bad guy named Larry Quinn, for who I will refer to him as Mr. Baldwin for the remainder of this movie. He's their next door neighbor and is dating Joan while also constantly suggesting to her that she needs to take Conrad to military school to help better his attitude.
I'm not going to military school, Larry.
It's Lawrence, you snot-nosed little son of a wonderful woman who I'm absolutely crazy about. Gosh, I love children.
Joan has to go back to work as her boss requested her to, so she's called in Miss Kwan to help babysit the children.
Remember the rules. Conrad, no playing ball in the house, no fighting, no answering the phone, city morgue.
Mommy, can't I have some rules?
No chewing tobacco.
Thanks, Mom. You have my word.
I don't know why, but the line just made me chuckle. Brownie points to you, Cat in the Hat, but trust this will be the only time you get a brownie point.
Or else.
Or else what? You're gonna do what Larry said and send me to military school?
Maybe if you just behave, I wouldn't have to consider military school. I wish I could trust you.
I wish I had a different mom.
Wow. That, Well, it's so unnecessary. It came out of nowhere. Look, I know kids are bratty and don't know any better, but he has heard that it's been Mr. Baldwin's idea for pushing this thing to happen while his mom has been dancing around the subject and is clearly not comfortable with giving him an answer. Blame Baldwin for this, not your mom. The kids hear a noise coming from the closet upstairs, and lo and behold, we meet Cat in the Hat, furried up and ugly as hell. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't say it looks too bad. The smile that the Cat in the Hat makes, while terrifying for your nightmares, I gotta say that the outfit is just quite clean and top notch. So honestly, another brownie point for, oh wait, I just said.
Why, I'm the Cat in the Hat. There's no doubt about that. I'm a super fundiferous feline who's here to make sure that you're me-line, key-line. I got nothing. I'm not so good with the rhyming.
And you've already killed the mere basics of Cat in the Hat. What do you mean you don't know rhymes? That's part of his gimmick. You dig my pants?
Where did you come from?
When a mommy cat and a daddy cat love each other very much.
No. Where did you come from?
My place, what do you think?
Oh, we're gonna be here for a long while.
Who is this?
That's my mom.
Awkward.
Okay, so fair warning, if you haven't seen this movie, you're going to get a lot. And I mean a lot of this movie's adult humor. And the thing is, it was never supposed to be that way. And many of my knowledge that I have right now to deep dive into this topic came from a video called How Hollywood Killed Cat in the Hat by Brewski. So if you want a full in-depth video explaining everything, go to his video, it's in the description. I'm just here to summarize everything. Back to my point, some of the direction that you see from this movie comes from the ideas from Mike Myers himself, the man who's behind the Cat in the Hat, as he was practically taking charge in directing most of the scenes, and mostly improvising the Cat in the Hat character to fit what was more comfortable for his style of comedy, not realizing that his style of comedy was not going to work in this kind of format. But I don't think he cared, because this was a movie that he was legally supposed to do after breaching a contract with Universal Studios for not committing to a project that they were going to spin off from a character that he had played on Saturday Night Live named Dieter. So when Mike Myers got sued, he sued them back. Then the battle went freaking nowhere, but Mike Myers had a contract with Universal Studios that stated that he had to do a movie with them, and that movie ended up being The Cat in the Frickin' Hat. So if you question why this character is awful, you can understand now as to why.
There was this cat that I knew back home where I was bred. That's why they sent him to a vet to cut off both his boo. Boy, that.
What is going on?
But if I'm gonna stay, there's something I want to show you. Something magical and full of wonder. It's called a contract. Basically, this contract guarantees you can have all the fun you want and nothing bad's ever gonna happen.
Yes, kids, just make sure to sign the contract and not breach it the way that he did.
Yeah. Where's my dad? Sorry.
Pause, man. Pause! Oh, pause! Why did I enjoy watching this as a child? Does the style... My English is so bad. Does nostalgia blind me that much?
Cat.
Son of a bitch! Look, I'm not saying we're going to sue. I'm just saying we have a case.
Okay. You get one nose sniff. You got one nose slip. That was kind of decent.
Cat, you need to clean this mess up pronto.
All right, I'll try.
You don't try, you do.
Yes, ma'am.
When did this attitude come up? It's not foreshadowing or anything. It just happens. And also, I apologize for the lack of material that I've been giving through this movie, but this movie has really been just random equals funny, adult jokes equals funny, and quite frankly, I haven't been laughing at all. Except for some parts. When did the cat have a tail that has godly strength to slam a literal child into the air? You know what? I'm just asking too many questions for a movie that is literally called Cat in the Hat.
Stop! That's Mom's dress! She was gonna wear that tonight and you ruined it.
Honey, it was ruined when she bought it.
Is this like the Dwayne Johnson effect where Mike Myers became so successful in acting that he believed that he was good enough to direct a movie, only to have that movie end up failing miserably in the box office in his face? Seriously, with actors like that, they need to stop directing and just stick to pretending to be someone on a TV screen. So with Cat in the Hat making the whole house a mess, he tries to fix it by inviting his two friends for help, that being Thing 1 and Thing 2. And yes, those are actually their names. Dr. Seuss had a limited vocabulary when he came to making these books, so just let's give him a break. So the thingies cause havoc and destroy most of the house. The kid's dog runs out of the house, so the gang have to go and get it back home. We go back to Mr. Baldwin, who we see is not living the lifestyle that he presented himself in the beginning, being an unemployed slob that is too broke to pay for anything in his house. Back to the gang, we see that they found their dog, so they try to climb over a fence to help reach towards him, which of course leads to...
Dirty hoe.
Play the clip again? Seriously, with actors like that, they need to stop directing and just stick to pretending to be someone on a TV screen. They snoop around the house, and that's when Sally finds out that one of her friends hosted a birthday party with her classmates without inviting her.
Everyone I know is there. How come Denise didn't invite me to her birthday?
This means nothing. It means nothing. Like, we had the scene and it's never mentioned again. Okay. So they get the dog, but when the kids go outside to play, the gang have to hide, but the Cat in the Hat disguises himself as the piñata, which of course leads to... astounding comedy. So Miss Kwan wakes up from her nap to get a call from Joan to ask how the kids are doing.
Those aren't children. They're little angels.
Dear Lord, am I witnessing a nightmare? So the gang witness Mr. Baldwin take the dog for himself as an act to help his case in getting Conrad to military school. So they try to get in Cat in the Hat's vehicle to help save the dog again.
A little voice inside of me is saying, this is a bad idea. Because an even louder little voice is screaming, let the 12-year-old drive!
Yeah, I haven't mentioned this enough, but he does this laugh a lot. Shut up! So Cat in the Hat allows his car to be controlled by himself and the kids, which quickly goes into chaos as they all crash the car. They manage to catch up to Mr. Baldwin and take the dog from him, which leads to Baldwin to drag Joan with him to show her to what's happening.
Such an idiot. Why do I always have to do the opposite of what I'm supposed to? Wait a second, that's it, the opposite!
I can't knock a kid for his acting. That's just not me. Although, so Conrad gets the thingies to help him outpace Mr. Baldwin to try and clean everything before their mom gets home. But to stall for time, Conrad gets the thingies to stall their mom, which infuriates Baldwin, so he ends up casually stealing a police bike from the thingies. He's able to catch up to the kids. Somehow, seriously, somehow, how the hell did he even do that? And this is where he gets confirmed by Cat in the Hat, which freaks Baldwin out as he's allergic to cats, and who wouldn't be terrified by a man camouflaging himself as a cat? And Baldwin would just seamlessly fall to his death. Okay then! So their house turns into this Cat in the Hat universe hellhole, it seems.
You mean like at Universal Studios?
That expression alone is the reason as to why they decided to make a movie of this. Why are we having an animated reboot of Cat in the Hat? Thank you for your clarification. They try to close the crate that's causing all this chaos, which leads to Sally being sucked into this gooey tornado. It's crazy how a 6-year-old did a better reaction to being warped into a tornado than an experienced actor did it in Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Sorry, that still cracks me up. So Conrad closes up the crate, getting the house back to normal. Okay, not really. So with all this, it leads to the kids being fed up with the cat's antics. So the kids are so fed up that they demand the cat to leave. They're about to accept their fate as they practically screwed, but that's when the Cat in the Hat returns to help clean the house in time. When Joan comes home, she gets impressed with how clean the house is.
Juan.
Hello, John.
Oh my gosh. Baldwin tries to explain himself, but ends up sounding more insane than how he actually looks, still trying one last time to convince Joan to take Conrad into military school.
I do know what kind of kid Conrad is. He can be irresponsible.
Yes.
He makes bad choices.
Yes.
Sometimes he makes me want to tear my hair out.
Yes.
But he's a good kid.
He's not showing one example of him being like that towards you, but sure, I'll take your word for it. She breaks up with Baldwin and that's the end of that, leaving the family to live happily ever after. And what's a better way of ending a 2000s movie than a Smash Mouth song? And hang on. And that was Cat in the Hat. You say more, it's a bad movie. Would I declare it as the worst movie I've ever seen? It's far from it. I've seen worse, I believe. Though I believe this is one of the worst live-action films ever. It's not really funny, it's a children's movie that doesn't act like it's a children's movie, as it seems like it's more interested in pleasing the adults than its actual demographic, and the story is just... Now, are there any positives to this movie? Of course there are! Here's one! Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, the only thing that I could really think of in my head is that this movie actually could have been something decent. They had the money and material to somewhat make this a decent children's movie, but it came down to two things. One, the terrible writing, and two, Mike Myers' terrible, awful ego. He was a nightmare behind the scenes, changing the scripts left and right to whatever suited him. I think the closest thing Mike Myers has ever done to being considered somewhat of a good person was what he did with Spencer, who played Conrad in the film. As he had admitted in a Reddit Ask Me Anything that while he was not feeling well while filming the movie, Mike Myers had actually sent him some Austin Powers figures to his house, so that's nice, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. What movie would you guys like me to review next? Comment below. Thank you so much. Subscribe now, as I will try to get my consistency back in video scheduling back up to date. I'm not editing that. Goodbye.